What if I told you there's a tiny seed that contains more protein per gram than eggs, and maybe one of the best muscle rebuilding tools for people over 60? This isn't set hype. It's step science. The seed I'm talking about is hemp seed. Small, unassuming, but remarkably dense in high-quality complete protein. That means it provides all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. In fact, some studies suggest that hemp protein rivals egg whites and whey for muscle repair without the digestive strain or blood sugar spikes. And that matters even more as we age. Here's Zips why. After the age of 60, we start losing muscle at a much faster rate, a condition called sarcopenia. This loss doesn't just affect strength. It impacts balance, blood sugar regulation, metabolic health, even mood. And rebuilding muscle isn't as simple as just hitting the gym harder. Your biology is changed. Your digestion, your hormone levels, your inflammation, all of it shifts. But that doesn't mean decline is inevitable. In fact, your body is still capable of building strong, lean, functional muscle if you feed it the right signals. And one of those signals comes through what you eat. Hemp seeds offer a rare combo: complete protein, high levels of arginine, which supports nitric oxide and blood flow, omega-3s and anti-inflammatory compounds, and fiber that supports gut and hormone health. Here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about muscle. It's about independence, energy, staying sharp and mobile, feeling more confident in your body as you age, not less. And food can be a powerful lever to help you get there, if you understand how to use it. In this episode, we're going to break down 6 science-backed insights on how hemp protein works, why it's different, and how to build it into your daily routine in a way that supports real, lasting muscle growth after 60. You'll learn the optimal timing, how it affects your brain, and what research says about protein recovery and aging muscle. We'll also cover practical tools, small tweaks to your morning or post-workout routine that can have a big impact. Let's start by looking at what protein does differently in the body after 60 and why hemp may be uniquely suited to help. Let's start with something foundational. After age 60, your body becomes less responsive to the muscle-building signals of protein. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance. In simpler terms, what used to trigger muscle growth in your 30s, like a scrambled egg or a workout, is now less effective. Your muscles need a louder signal to respond. Here sits what the research shows. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that older adults require around 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein per meal to maximize muscle protein synthesis, compared to around 20 grams for younger adults. That's nearly double. And it's not just about the amount, it's also about the type of protein and the timing of when you eat it. Have you ever eaten what felt like a healthy meal, but still felt tired, weak, or like you were losing muscle despite staying active? That could be your body under-responding to weak protein signals. It's not your fault, it's biology, but you can work with it if you know what you're doing. Think of muscle building, like trying to start a fire. In your 20s, all it took was a spark. In your 60s, you need dry wood, oxygen, and a steady flame. It's no longer automatic, but it's still absolutely possible. This is where protein quality becomes critical. Muscle isn't built from just any protein. It's built from essential amino acids, especially leucine, which acts like a trigger for muscle growth. Most plant proteins are low in leucine, but hemp contains it in meaningful amounts. Combined with its digestibility and anti-inflammatory profile, hemp can be a powerful tool to overcome anabolic resistance, especially when used consistently. Now let's zoom out. Why does this matter? Because maintaining or rebuilding muscle after 60 protects far more than your biceps. It protects your metabolism, your mobility, your insulin sensitivity, your balance, and even your brain. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. It burns calories, regulates blood sugar, and produces myokines, tiny signaling molecules that influence everything from inflammation to cognition. So if you're struggling with fatigue, blood sugar swings, poor sleep, or even anxiety, it may be partially rooted in muscle loss. And that makes restoring lean muscle not just about strength. It's about reclaiming the foundation of long-term health. Here's a simple tool to apply. Track how much protein you're actually getting in a day. Most older adults don't even come close to what their body needs. Aim for 1.6 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, spread across 3 meals. And make sure each meal hits at least 30 grams, including a rich source like hemp, eggs, or wild fish. And yes, if you're not used to eating that much protein, it can feel like a lot at first. That's where smoothies, shakes, or blended breakfast bowls with hemp protein can help. They're easy to digest and can pack 15 to 20 grams of protein without much volume. Muscle loss after 60 is common, but it's not a guarantee. You're not too old to build strength. You just need a smarter strategy. The science is clear. With the right type and timing of protein, plus resistance training, you can stimulate new muscle growth even into your 70s and beyond. Now we'll look at why hemp protein in particular is uniquely suited for this, especially compared to animal sources like whey or eggs. But first, if you're finding this helpful and you want more tools like this each week, consider subscribing. This channel is all about giving you real science-based strategies to take back control of your body and your health. Let's get straight to it. Why choose hemp protein over more common sources like whey, eggs, or meat? Here's the thing: for decades, whey has been the go-to for muscle building. It's fast digesting, rich in leucine, and easy to mix into shakes. But as you age, your digestive capacity changes. The enzymes that break down dairy often decline. Many older adults experience bloating, discomfort, or low-grade inflammation after consuming whey, even if they didn't in their younger years. That's where hemp steps in. Hemp protein is plant-based, but unlike most plant proteins, it contains all 9 essential amino acids, including decent levels of leucine, isoleucine, and valine, the 3 branched-chain amino acids critical for muscle recovery. While it may have slightly less leucine than whey, it brings other advantages that make it more effective for many aging bodies. Here's what the research suggests. Hemp protein is easier to digest for older adults. It's naturally high in adestin, a type of protein that closely resembles the proteins found in the human body, which makes it highly bioavailable. One study in food chemistry noted that hemp seed protein isolate showed better digestibility than soy, rice, or even some whey blends, especially in people with slower or sensitive digestion. And digestion isn't just about comfort. It's about how well your body can extract and use amino acids for repair and recovery. A protein you can't digest is a protein you can't use. There's another hidden benefit to hemp: anti-inflammatory compounds. As we age, chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, rises. This background inflammation doesn't just cause stiffness or brain fog. It interferes with muscle repair, disrupts hormonal balance, and accelerates tissue breakdown. Hemp seeds are rich in gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, and omega-3s, both of which help counteract inflammation at the cellular level. Let me ask you, have you ever had a week where you did everything right, ate clean, moved regularly, but still felt sore, puffy, or just flat? That could be unresolved inflammation blocking the signals your body needs to rebuild. Hemp may not be a miracle, but it's a multi-tool. Complete protein, easier digestion, natural anti-inflammatories, high fiber to support gut and hormone health, and no dairy, which makes it ideal for people with sensitivity. Here's a simple tool to apply. Try replacing one of your protein sources, like a morning egg or dairy-based shake, with a hemp protein smoothie. Start with 15 to 20 grams of hemp protein powder. Add half a banana, a handful of berries, maybe some cinnamon or cacao, and blend it with unsweetened almond or oat milk. It's a low-glycemic, high-protein start to the day that's gut-friendly and muscle-supportive. And for those who are plant-based or simply want to cut down on heavy animal proteins, hemp can become a daily staple. You can sprinkle whole hemp seeds over salads, oatmeal, or yogurt to add protein and healthy fats without changing your routine. Most importantly, this isn't about becoming a health purist. It's about making smart swaps that move the needle. One decision, repeated consistently, can change your physiology over time. If this insight is helping you, and you want more science-backed upgrades for your brain and body, hit the subscribe button. We're building a community that's not interested in hacks, but in mastery. And it starts with understanding how your biology actually works. Now, we'll explore how a single nutrient in hemp, arginine, boosts nitric oxide, improves blood flow, and accelerates recovery, especially in men and women over 60. One of the most overlooked aspects of muscle recovery and aging well in general is circulation. You can eat all the right protein, lift weights, get good sleep, but if your blood flow is impaired, your results will lag behind. That's where arginine comes in, and hemp seeds are loaded with it. Arginine is an amino acid that serves as a direct precursor to nitric oxide, a molecule that helps relax blood vessels and improve circulation. More nitric oxide means better delivery of nutrients, oxygen, and hormones to muscle tissue, especially after training or periods of inactivity. Here's what the research shows. A 2020 study published in Nutrients found that arginine supplementation significantly increased nitric oxide levels and improved endothelial function, the health of the lining of blood vessels in older adults. This matters because blood vessel dysfunction contributes to everything from slow muscle recovery to high blood pressure and cognitive decline. So why is this relevant to hemp? Because per gram, hemp seeds contain some of the highest levels of arginine in any food, plant, or animal, even higher than eggs, and significantly more than meats like chicken or beef. Let's break this down with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscles are construction sites. Protein provides the bricks, but without good roads, those bricks never get delivered. Nitric oxide keeps the roads open. It's like clearing traffic so nutrients can flow exactly where they're needed. This is especially important after 60. As we age, our natural nitric oxide production declines. That can lead to slower recovery from workouts, more stiffness, and even poor sleep due to reduced oxygenation during the night. Add in the risk of vascular issues, and you've got a perfect storm. But boosting nitric oxide isn't hard. It's about feeding your body the right raw materials, arginine being one of the most important. And again, hemp provides it naturally, with the added bonus of fiber, magnesium, and omega-3s. Here is a practical tool to apply. Try incorporating hemp protein or hemp hearts into your post-exercise meal. The period within 45 to 60 minutes after resistance training is a key window where the body is primed to absorb amino acids and direct them toward repair. If you're not lifting weights yet, start small. Even walking followed by body weight movements like squats, push-ups, or resistance bands can prime your body to use protein more effectively. And when you combine that movement with arginine-rich foods, you amplify recovery and adaptation. Have you ever felt lightheaded after standing up quickly, or noticed that your hands and feet are cold more often than they used to be? Those are subtle signs that circulation might be lagging. While not always serious, they point to something deeper. Your cardiovascular system is asking for support. The beautiful part? You don't need a supplement bottle to get it, just a consistent habit of consuming foods like hemp that are naturally rich in arginine. Another tip, pairing arginine-rich foods with beets, pomegranate, or dark leafy greens can further boost nitric oxide. These foods contain nitrates that complement the arginine pathway, creating a double effect on blood vessel function. Bottom line, muscle recovery isn't just about protein. It's about delivery. And improving blood flow can be the difference between a body that just gets by and one that continues to grow stronger with age. Now we'll dive into something most people overlook, timing. Because when you eat, protein can be just as important as how much you eat. You already know that what you eat matters. But let's talk about when you eat, because for muscle growth, especially after 60, timing can change everything. Here's the principle. Your body's ability to use protein isn't constant throughout the day. It follows a rhythm, a kind of metabolic schedule that's influenced by hormones, sleep, and physical activity. And that rhythm shifts as you age. For younger people, protein consumed throughout the day tends to get utilized relatively efficiently. But in older adults, studies show that even spacing and early day intake of protein lead to significantly better muscle protein synthesis. Let's look at the science. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that when older adults distributed protein evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they experienced 25% more muscle growth compared to those who ate most of their protein at dinner. Another study from McMaster University showed that consuming protein right after resistance training significantly enhanced muscle repair, especially in people over 65. So why does this happen? Because with age, your body's anabolic signaling weakens. You need stronger, clearer messages to stimulate growth. Protein in the morning sends one of those messages. It signals your muscles to shift out of breakdown mode and into repair mode. And here's the kicker. Most older adults undereat protein at breakfast. Think toast, fruit, or just coffee. Maybe an egg if they're lucky. But remember, the target for optimal synthesis is 30 to 40 grams per meal. That means you'd need at least 3 to 4 eggs or a smoothie with hemp protein to hit that threshold. Here, SIP's a practical tool. Front load your day with protein. Start your morning with a shake that includes 20 to 25 grams of hemp protein, a tablespoon of ground flax or chia for healthy fats, some berries, and a small piece of fruit for fiber and flavor. That one habit can shift your hormonal profile, stabilize energy, and kickstart muscle building. Let me ask you, have you ever felt sluggish or unmotivated mid-morning, even after a full night's sleep? That crash might not be about sleep at all. It could be your blood sugar or your cortisol rhythm out of sync due to underfueling. A high-protein breakfast helps regulate cortisol, which naturally peaks in the early morning. When you eat protein at this time, you help blunt excess cortisol and stabilize your nervous system for the rest of the day. This is especially important for those dealing with stress, anxiety, or mood swings. And post-workout, that's your second golden window. Within 45 to 60 minutes after exercise, your muscles are like sponges, more sensitive to insulin, more responsive to amino acids. Consuming a protein-rich meal or shake after training doesn't just rebuild muscle. It improves recovery, reduces soreness, and supports better sleep that night. So here's STIP's, your protocol. 30 to 40 grams of protein at breakfast, 15 to 25 grams of hemp protein post-workout. Evenly spaced meals throughout the day. Avoid saving all your protein for dinner. Your body can use it as effectively when taken all at once. And remember, small changes, repeated daily, create long-term adaptation. If this framework makes sense and you're getting value from it, take a moment to like this video or leave a comment. It helps the algorithm, yes. But more importantly, it helps this community grow. People over 60 aren't being given the science-based tools they deserve. We're changing that together. Now, we're going to talk about a silent disruptor of muscle health that's rarely mentioned, inflammation, and how the gut, hormones, and hemp all tie into the bigger picture. Here's something most people never hear from their doctor. Chronic inflammation can block muscle growth. It doesn't matter how much protein you eat or how often you exercise. If your body is inflamed, your muscle-building machinery slows to a crawl. This is one of the missing links in most conversations around aging and strength. Because after 60, low-grade inflammation often becomes a daily reality due to poor sleep, blood sugar swings, joint issues, even emotional stress. It's subtle, it builds slowly, but it matters. So let's talk about what's really happening under the hood. When inflammation rises, your body releases cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. These molecules interfere with mTOR signaling, a key pathway that tells your muscles it's time to grow. Instead of building, your body goes into repair mode, trying to put out fires. And in that state, you can eat plenty of protein and still see very little change. The other thing inflammation disrupts: hormones. In both men and women, cortisol levels tend to rise with chronic inflammation. Testosterone and estrogen fall. Thyroid function slows, all of which make it harder to recover, harder to sleep, and harder to build lean tissue. Now here's where hemp becomes more than just a protein source. It's also a functional anti-inflammatory food. Hemp seeds contain a rare balance of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, specifically gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, a compound shown to reduce inflammation in several clinical studies. One trial published in Arthritis and Rheumatism found that GLA from hemp seed oil significantly reduced joint pain and swelling in older adults with rheumatoid arthritis. On top of that, hemp is rich in magnesium, which helps regulate cortisol and supports deeper sleep. something often disrupted by inflammatory states. And it contains fiber, which directly supports gut health, a critical but often forgotten player in the inflammation story. Let's pause here and ask something simple. How often do you feel puffy, sluggish, or wired but tired? That's not just aging. That's likely inflammation mixed with poor blood sugar control and disrupted hormone signaling. Here's the good news. Food can correct that. If you feed the gut right, the gut sends the right signals to the brain, the immune system, and the endocrine system. So here's a protocol to consider. Add 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds to your meals daily, sprinkle on a salad, blend into your smoothie, or mix into oatmeal. Prioritize prebiotic fiber like oats, lentils, or chia, and probiotic foods like kefir or sauerkraut to nourish the gut. Limit processed seed oils and sugar, which spike inflammation and throw hormones off balance. Use movement as medicine. Even light walking after meals can reduce inflammatory markers by improving insulin sensitivity. And here's a subtle shift that can have a massive ripple effect. Eat your meals without distraction. No screens, no rushing. When you eat in a calm parasympathetic state, your gut digests better. Nutrients get absorbed more efficiently, and your inflammatory load decreases over time. This isn't just new age advice. It's physiology. Your muscle health isn't just in the gym. It's in your kitchen, your gut, your hormones, and your nervous system. Hemp happens to support all of these, making it more than a protein. It's a systems-level food that works with your biology instead of against it. Now, we'll put it all together into one simple daily protocol, a repeatable strategy that combines food, timing, and movement to rebuild strength after 60. At this point, we've covered a lot: how muscle synthesis changes with age, why hemp protein is uniquely effective, how blood flow and inflammation affect recovery, and why timing matters more than most people realize. Now, let's turn all that science into something you can actually do. A simple daily protocol to rebuild muscle after 60. No gimmicks, no guesswork. Here sips the goal. You want to create consistent, clear signals to your body that say, build muscle, reduce inflammation, restore hormonal balance, stay strong and mobile. And you want to do this with a rhythm you can maintain not just for a few weeks, but for the long haul. Let's build your day. 1. Morning prime the system. Start with a hemp-based protein breakfast. Blend 20 to 25 grams of hemp protein powder with half a banana, some blueberries, a tablespoon of chia or flax, and unsweetened almond or oat milk. Add cinnamon or cacao if you want flavor and blood sugar support. This fuels your muscles, lowers cortisol, and starts your day with clarity instead of fog. It also ensures you get at least 1 solid dose of complete protein early, something most older adults miss. Midday movement. Lunch protein. Even a 15-minute walk or a short session of resistance bands before lunch helps open your muscles to receive nutrients. After that, aim for another 30 to 40 grams of protein in your meal. Think lentils with hemp seeds, grilled fish with veggies and olive oil, or a tofu and quinoa bowl topped with more hemp hearts. The key here isn't perfection, it's consistency and distribution. You want protein at every major meal, not loaded all at once in the evening. 3. Post-workout window. If you're training, whether resistance training, yoga, or walking with light bodyweight movement, have a small shake or snack within 60 minutes. Another 15 to 20 grams of hemp protein here can make a real difference in how your body repairs and adapts. 4. Evening wind down plus recovery meal. Dinner should still include protein, but this is also your opportunity to reduce inflammation and support recovery. A meal with fatty fish or legumes plus hemp, leafy greens, and slow carbs like sweet potato or brown rice can help regulate overnight hormones like melatonin, GH, and insulin. Consider adding magnesium-rich foods like avocado or pumpkin seeds, or even a magnesium supplement if needed. Better recovery overnight equals more strength tomorrow. Other small but powerful tweaks. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds daily on salads, soups, yogurt, or grain bowls. Pair hemp with nitric oxide boosters, like beets, arugula, or pomegranate once or twice a week. Drink plenty of water and avoid eating late at night. Your digestive efficiency drops in the evening. And finally, track what works. Every body is different. Some people feel better with 2 meals a day. Others need 3. Some thrive on plant-heavy meals. Others need animal protein for fullness. Use these tools as a starting framework, then personalize. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about giving your body the resources it needs to rebuild what time tries to take away with consistent protein, better circulation, lower inflammation, and nutrient-dense whole foods like hemp. You're stacking the odds in your favor. This protocol doesn't just protect muscle. It supports brain health, energy, balance, and even emotional resilience. That's what aging well actually looks like. Now we'll wrap it all up in a conclusion, recapping the key ideas, why they matter, and one simple thing you can try today to start rebuilding strength. Let's zoom out. We started with a bold idea that a tiny seed, hemp, could beat eggs in protein quality and help rebuild muscle faster after 60. And as we've seen, it's not just hype. It's grounded in science. Here's what the research and experience tell us. After 60, muscle protein synthesis slows down. Your body doesn't respond to protein the way it did in your 30s or 40s. You need more of it, spaced consistently and delivered in the right form. Hemp is one of the few plant-based proteins that contains all 9 essential amino acids, including leucine, which triggers muscle growth. It's also easier to digest and loaded with anti-inflammatory compounds that support your recovery, not just your muscles, but your brain, joints, and hormones. Its high arginine content boosts nitric oxide, improving blood flow, oxygen delivery, and nutrient transport. That means faster healing, better performance, and stronger recovery, especially when paired with exercise. Timing matters. Protein in the morning and after training is key to getting the full anabolic effect. Spacing your protein evenly throughout the day creates the most muscle-building momentum. And finally, your gut and hormones are always in the picture. Inflammation, blood sugar instability, or poor sleep will all block your progress unless you address them through smarter food choices, like fiber-rich, anti-inflammatory sources such as hemp, leafy greens, and omega-3s. Let's boil this down. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to become a nutrition expert. You need one clear intention. Signal your body consistently that it's time to grow. That signal comes through protein, through movement, through rest, through lowering inflammation and improving nutrient delivery. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, make a shake with hemp protein. Just try it. 20 to 25 grams of hemp protein, half a banana, a few frozen berries, a tablespoon of flax or chia, water or almond milk. Blend it, drink it, and pay attention to how you feel at mid-morning, how your energy carries through the day. Then repeat it the next day and the next, because small, science-backed habits done consistently will beat willpower supplements or hacks every time. If you've made it this far, it means you're serious about your body and your health. You're not here for surface-level advice. You're here to understand how to work with your biology, not against it. This channel is about exactly that. Evidence-based tools, clear protocols, and a calm, focused approach to getting stronger, sharper, and more resilient with age, not less. So if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway? What are you going to try this week? And if you want more videos like this on how to improve focus, energy, muscle, mood, and mental clarity, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone you care about. It helps grow the channel, sure. But more than that, it helps spread the message. Aging is not decline. It's adaptation, and you can shape it. Start with protein. Start with hemp. Start today.